Hi, I'm Christina and today I'm going to do a little bit of a fun video and I'm going to judge books by their opening lines. So I saw Jack Edwards do this recently on his channel and I really enjoyed watching it and I thought it looked like a lot of fun, so I'm doing this one too. And I'll of course leave his video down below so you can check that one out. So I have taken 10 books from my favourite shelf and I'm just going to see how they start. So obviously I enjoyed all of these books. Some of the best books that I've read, they're all 5-star reads. Some of them I've read more recently than others. There's a couple here that I've read this year, and there's quite a few here that I've read over the last kind of 4 or 5 years. So some of these are definitely going to be more familiar to me than others. So let's just start with the first one. I have Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste, and I read this one a couple of years ago now. So let's see how it starts. Okay. Everyone in Shaker Heights was talking about it that summer, how Isabel, the last of the Richardson children, had finally gone around the bend and burnt the house down. I think that's a great opening line. Really kind of indicative of the rest of the story as well, and obviously from the front cover. And yeah, that definitely draws me in. I think that's an excellent first line. So I'd give that one 5 out of 5 in terms of first line. I think that's a really good one. So we might have one here that needs to be the benchmark for the other ones to beat. So let's see. The next book I have is The Life and Death of Sophie Stark. Read this one a couple of years ago too. Let's see. First page. When Sophie first saw me, I was on stage. That's a bit of a disappointing first line, to be honest. It doesn't really draw you in. It's just fine. Like a 2 or 3 out of 5, I'd say. But it is an absolutely wonderful book. Yeah, but a little bit of a disappointing first line. So that's that one. So Little Fires Everywhere is still the first line to beat. Now I have Beartown by Fredrik Backman, and this genuinely is one of my favourite books of all time. So let's see, I read this one a few years ago and I need to reread this one because I want to read the second book and then the third book in the series. So let's see how this one started. Late one evening, towards the end of March, a teenager picked up a double-barreled shotgun, walked into the forest, put the gun to someone else's forehead and pulled the trigger. That is a wonderful first line. I think that one's better than Little Fires Everywhere, to be honest. We've got burning down a house and we've got, well, murder. But yeah, that's a brilliant first line. I couldn't remember how this book started. I actually don't remember a lot of this story. I remember the general overarching plot, but I'm not really remembering the characters and stuff. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this one again. And yeah, I think that's an excellent first line. 5 out of 5 for me. That is now the one to beat. So next up I have Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. I think I read this one in 2020, so a little bit more recently than the other ones. Okay, we got a little map at the front. Okay, first line, marsh is not swamp. That's really bad. That's a really disappointing first line. I think that one's going straight to the bottom for me in terms of first lines. It's not very interesting or very exciting, is it? So that one is probably the worst. And then we've got The Life and Death of Sophie Stark, and then Little Fires Everywhere, and then Beartown. So this is the ranking so far. Let's put them over here. So 5th book, I have The Burning Girls by C.J. Tudor, and I read this at the start of this year. So let's see how it starts. Okay, so I'm not going to read that bit because it's from a Wikipedia page. Okay, so this is from the prologue. What kind of man am I? It's a pretty good first line. A little bit intriguing. Definitely kind of like a rhetorical question as the first line, but it's not as good as the burning the house down one and the murdering someone one. So I think this is going to be 3 for me. Yeah, this is going to be 3rd so far. Much better than Sophie Stark and Crawdads. So now I have How to Stop Time by Haig. Read this one a few years ago too, obviously loved it. Here we go. I often think of what Hendrik said to me over a century ago in his New York apartment. I think that's a great first line. I love it that it's over a century ago, definitely drew me in. This whole book is just wonderful. So yeah, I think that's an excellent first line. I think that's gonna be third now. That trumps Burning Girls, but I don't think it's as good as Beartown or Little Fires Everywhere. It might be better than Little Fires Everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna put it third and then have a little think after. So the next book I have is The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. I think I read this one last year, and I read the second one this year, or was it the year before? But I have the third one on my October TBR. So let's see the first line. Okay, where are we? Here we go. Killing someone is easy. That's a decent first line. Yeah, I quite like it. Kind of draws you in. Gonna put it under How to Stop Time. I like that, talking to someone over a century ago in your apartment a little bit more, and it's not gonna knock those top people off the top spot yet. So now I have another Matt Haig book. He's definitely one of my favourite authors, and this one is The Midnight Library, and I love the beginning of this. It's just it's like a little pretend library ticket when you used to stamp the dates, back when they used to stamp the dates, and I think it's great. Anyway, completely off the point. Let's look at the first line. So that one's a quote by Sylvia Plath, so we'll read that. Okay. Between life and death, there is a library, she said. I think that's a great first line. Yeah, I really like that. That's good. Where are we going to put it? Is it better than the other Matt Haig one about over a century ago talking to someone in their apartment? Maybe. No, I don't think it is. I think the over a century ago one is better. So okay, that one's going fourth in the ranking. So next I have Carrie, Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I read this one really recently, actually, just last month. This month? Very recently. So let's see what the first line is. Okay. My entire life's work rests on the outcome of this match. I like that. I think that really grips you in. High stakes. So that one is good. Is it as good? No, it's going to go fifth. It's still not as good as the Matt Haig ones. So, okay. There we go. This pile's getting a little bit unruly. So just one more book. Okay, so I have Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, and I read this one last year. One of the best books I read last year. One of my favourite science fiction books of all time. Probably the best science fiction book I've ever read. So let's see. So we have diagrams in the beginning, which I'm not gonna say as a first line. So, what's 2 plus 2? That's an okay first line. It's not massively gripping. It's another rhetorical question. That's the second rhetorical question we've had. It's decent, but it's not going to knock any of the top people off the top spot. So I think that's going to go... It's going to have to go under quite a few, actually, isn't it? Let me rearrange this massive pile. It's going to have to go here, I think. It's going to go under Killing Someone is Easy, and my entire life work rests on this. So there we go. This is going to be strange, actually. I'll see... In relation to my favourite books, can I actually carry all of these? Maybe not. Which ones have the best first line? So let me just rearrange this pile. Oh, it's annoying that all the paperbacks are at the bottom. All the hardbacks have the better lines. Okay. I'm going to try and lift this up. Oh. Okay, here we go. So... in terms of the best books here, I do think maybe Beartown is actually my favourite. Oh, with Little Fires Everywhere, and it's the best in terms of first line. Yeah, I do think it was just such a gripping one. So that's interesting. So I would say my top 3 books out of these are definitely Beartown, definitely Little Fires Everywhere, and then I'd probably say Project Hail Mary, actually. So it would go... best book, best first line, 1 and 1, Beartown, and then Little Fires Everywhere. Second best book, second best line, 2 and 2. So we've got 2 for 2 there. But then Project Hail Mary, I would say, is probably my third favourite book here. Oh, and it's quite a long way down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 7th. So not great. And then I would probably say my favourites are How to Stop Time in the Midnight Library. That works quite well. They're in first and fourth here. What about then? I guess Life and Death of Sophie Starr could be next, which is really low at the bottom. It's ninth. That was a bit of a rubbish first line. And then I would say probably Carrie Soto Is Back. And then The Thursday Murder Club. And then Where the Crawdads Sing. And then at the very bottom, The Burning Girls. So yeah, you know what? That's actually worked out surprisingly well. Best two books, best two first lines. Matt Haig one's right near the top where they should be. The only one that's kind of doesn't work is Project Hail Mary right down at the bottom. And The Life and Death of Sophie Stark's a bit near the bottom too. But no, that's actually been really interesting. So I would love to know if you have read any of these. Which one here was your favourite first line? Like which one really kind of pulled you in? If you haven't read any of these books, any of these first lines, have they kind of made you want to read them? If you can decide you want to read a book based purely on the first line, I'd love to know what you thought. So thank you so much for watching. Please do like the video if you've liked it, and please do subscribe if you'd like to see more of me talking about books. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.